Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Crypto's 15-minute market update. Today is Monday, August 12th, 6:27 a.m. local time. I hope you're having a good day, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Let me start off with my disclaimer just to protect myself legally. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I am wrong 99.9% of the time, so if you use real money and you follow me, you have a 99.9% chance of losing it all. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This is for game theory for your fantasy paper trading. All right, guys. So on Friday, this is the view. This is what we talked about on the last, actually we mapped this out on Thursday, but Friday was the last video that I had. And I believe here, we were here on Friday where we had confirmed. We broke above it. We broke a little higher than we thought. We went into our lower high rule. We came back and we back tested, and I pointed this out that we had this back test. I kept this here because, you just never know. And what we ended up doing is we ended up just consolidating above the top of that channel. And then look what happens on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, we start breaking wicks below this area. And then finally at 12 noon, we break below the top of that channel. So we're back into that channel once again. Now, if you can see where I was looking for here, I was looking on this right here. I was looking for a hit to the underside of that channel and then a rejection. Well, like I said, we went to the top. However, here we came back overnight in the London session and we back tested this area here. We didn't hit it exactly, but we got very close, and we actually got this blue line represents a sub resistance. I don't usually put sub resistance, but it was such a clean line when I looked to the left, areas of support, that I had to put that on there, and that's what we actually hit in between the top of the channel and this sub resistance area, which is, again, this whole area is resistance, and we are rejecting from it. However, there's nothing really confirmed until New York comes online in 1 minute. Now, in 1 minute, New York will come online, and typically between the 6:30, which is the New York 9:30, between 9:30 Eastern Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll get a direction. We'll get some sort of move. So we have to wait for New York to give us a direction. Many times, often, not many times, but often, at 9:30 New York Eastern Time, we'll go one direction, and then at 10 o'clock, we get a reversal, and we start heading the opposite direction. So in this case, for instance, we can be heading down at the 9:30, and then at 10 o'clock, they pivot. Or vice versa. 9:30 comes, we go straight up. Around 10 o'clock, then we come back down. So we kind of have to wait for that little pause area between 9:30 Eastern Time and 10:30 Eastern Time to really get a better view of what New York may do for the New York session. We just can't react at the opening bell, is what I'm basically trying to say. So it's a very easy area of validation and invalidation, because regardless of what New York does, with a high probability, we're going to do something that's going to give you the confidence to get in front of that trade. And let me explain to you what that would be. If we break higher, whether it be at the 9:30 or 10 o'clock hour, I'm going to look for a back test. And once that back test happens and confirms, and when I say confirm, I'm looking at the hourly time frame. So now I'll switch over to the 15-minute time frame, and I want to see candles stay above here. I want to see at least a good 3-4 candles stay above here. When this starts trading above the prior candles, higher than the prior candles, better said, I can have more confidence that we're going to the upside. And the flip side of that is, if we continue to come down and we get back up to the top of this area here, and we cannot cross it, and we get rejection, and we start trading lower than the previous candles of that rejection, then I can step in front of that and say, okay, greater probability that we're going to go down. Now, keep in mind that down doesn't mean we're going to go straight down one candle at 11 o'clock. We hit the cluster of liquidations and we're good to go. That's not how it works. That's how it may work in your mind. And a lot of people on Twitter, that's how it works in their mind. In my mind, this can take all week till Friday to come down here and hit this, if we're even going to hit it, because I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be looking at areas of interest. DCT, guys, heat map has a very, very cool detailed look with a dynamic view that gives me real-time data. High block shows us accumulative, shows me static data. And they have also within the DCT software to give us a static view. But the dynamic view gives us the actual view, not the view that has been taken out already. It already accounts for the contracts that have been closed. So I really enjoy using the dynamic view on the daily crypto trading heat maps because they're a lot more accurate. And that heat is still down here, guys, at the $49,750 level. So that's what I have it mapped out here. Where is it? Right there. So I have it right in there. This is still there. It's a lot of $300 million in liquidations. That's a lot of money for market makers to make. So I want to wait and be patient and see, but I cannot look at something like this and just guess that we're going to go down to the downside. I have to look for the setup on the smaller time frames, the clues, the small clues. And in this particular area, we have a very well-defined area where to take a trade, which is sometimes a little tough to do. But with a channel as powerful as this that has been proven as a support and resistance area, gives us a very clear view of where to take your long or where to take your short. Obviously, I'll be calling that out. I won't be calling it out on Twitter. I will be calling it out on my Telegram channel, the one that I started about a month ago. It's a $25 a month. So if you don't want to learn TA and you just want me to tell you where to buy and where to sell on your paper trades, send me a DM directly. Do not click any link from any comments of any post that I do. Those are all scammers. All right. You have to send me a DM directly. Hey, BC, I want to join your Telegram channel, $25 a month. Here's the link. There you go. Okay. Unless you contact me, I will never reach out to you. So please make sure that you understand that. So for today is really simple, guys. We're trying to see which direction to trade, which direction we're going to confirm. We've already confirmed the underside rejection of this. So we're we're already a little bit ahead of what we're looking for. The only thing that I particularly don't feel comfortable with is that we did this during the London session this is Monday morning, early Monday morning, but I still consider this the weekend. For me, the weekend ends at 9:30 a.m. New York Eastern Standard Time. Even though that is a Monday, anything that happens before a New York session Monday morning is considered a weekend in my view, in the way I analyze the markets. So right now, in 5 minutes ago, we ended the weekend session and we began the New York session for the week. So I need to see what New York does. I need to see what kind of highs New York puts in for a Monday, and I want to see what kind of lows New York puts in for a Monday. And for that, I'll be able to then know where my new trading range may be, or it'll start solidifying some of the plans that I have for the downside or some of the plans that I have for the upside. This is still, in my view, not an established range. This is a preliminary range because I have a top and I have a bottom, and I've only confirmed the top really once. I want to see another confirmation to the downside to call this an actual range. That's why I call it a preliminary range. I don't know yet. It's still early. This was mapped out on the drop that we had at 49,000. So it's only a week old. It's trying to establish that range. Unlike some of the other ranges that I've had, they're 5 months old. Those are clear ranges. So until that happens, I have to be patient. I have to wait for the signs. I have to wait for the market to show me areas of validation and invalidation in order for me to step in front of that, knowing that I'm not catching the Pico top and I'm not catching the Pico bottom. So if you want to follow a trader who's going to get you the exact bottom, go to Twitter. There's plenty of those guys out there that catch to the penny the down and they sell to the penny on the upside. I'm not that good. All right. and they're never wrong. They have a 100% success rate. That's not me. Okay, I strive for 60% success rate, and I don't strive to get the bottom, and I don't strive to get the top. I'm the middle guy. I want the meat of the bone. I don't want the tip. I just want the meat. All right, I want what's in between. That satisfies me for the day, for the trade, and move on to the next one and try to do the same thing on a consistent basis. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for right now. We need to wait. Let's look at Ethereum. It's one thing I don't do because I believe that Ethereum is directed by Bitcoin. But let me give you just a quick little rundown on what I'm looking for here on Ethereum. So Ethereum has a very clear area of resistance. We've been in this area of resistance for 5 days now since back testing the bear break. We're back in here. We're trying to break it. We just can't seem to break it. I want to see a clean break above it. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to the lower time frames. I'm going to watch candle closes, not wicks on the higher time frames, but actual candle closes, and for the price actions to start trading above the prior consolidation, above the resistance, which now tells me that's a possibility that's going to be new support. I say possibility because we can start climbing up and roll over. And what would cause a rollover? Bitcoin, which is why Bitcoin is what I actually follow the most, is what I talk about the most, because Bitcoin is going to set the direction of the rest of the market the majority of the time. Unless Ethereum has a major upgrade or some catalyst that's going to lead the market, which happens, every few years, every couple of years, then I can rely on Ethereum as the leader. But as of right now, Bitcoin is a leader. There's nothing coming up with Ethereum that's going to cause it to become a leader anytime soon that I'm aware of. So for now, I'm going to look at the price action for Bitcoin. And like I said, Bitcoin already has a rejection here. I need that confirmation from the market makers. So until that happens, I don't feel confident on my downside target, and I don't feel confident on my upside target, because we can still hit this one more time, guys. We hit the lower high roll. We went up to so look at the daily time frame. When we look at the bounce that we did, this bounce, look, we went right to it and put in a lower high. Now we're on our way. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, all lower, all have put in lower lows, except for this one here, but have put in lower lows. So that tells me that, okay, we had a high, we had a low, right into our lower high. I'm expecting a lower low. I'm hoping not to get a lower low, but that will be confirmed when we break below here. But as of right now, my bias, believe it or not, guys, even though we hit this here, is still not a lower low. Not that I'm in denial, guys, but again, going back to my system, validations and invalidations. So to be, in all fairness, I've got to do this here. And look what we did. We actually bounced off 382. We came to 382 and we bounced. Still valid. If and when we close below the 0.50, we invalidate this. That's invalidation number 1. And I'm talking about invalidation before I switch to the $44,000 camp. Could we go to $44,000? Yeah, we could do anything. But I need the market to prove it to me. So I need the series of invalidations. Invalidation number 1, break below here. After that, I throw on my consolidation zone. I know that if we come here, we're not going to have the spring action like we would in the continuation rule. We're going to hit here and we're going to consolidate a little bit longer. It's the one thing nobody wants to see. Everybody wants to see a quick move. Markets don't work that way. Markets don't care what you want. The market is not in a hurry. Only you are. So once it consolidates here, if it closes below here, which is what I'm looking for because we have this huge liquidity cluster here, then we invalidate this. Am I still thinking at $44,000? Nope, not yet, because we can come all the way down here and back test this support and even sweep the lows. So if we sweep the lows with the wick and we close above $49,000 and we close a candle, I'm still in the camp that we're going higher. However, if we have a clean candle open and close below this low here, I am now shifting my plan to 44,700 to 43,800. That's the zone. That's this zone right here. That's this zone right in here. If you go to the weekly time frame, it'll be a little bit more clear, a little bit less noise. It'll be this zone right in here. Now, I'm not there yet. I'm not talking about it. It's not even, look, I don't even have it mapped out yet. because we haven't even invalidated objective number one. We haven't even validated that. So why am I going to talk about here? If I'm going to talk about this, I might as well talk about 10,000. I might as well talk about what's going to take us to $10,000 because it makes that much sense, which doesn't make any sense to me. All right, it doesn't make any sense to me. But it'd be the equivalent of talking about $10,000, and what I think is idiotic. Okay. And I know people are going to be like, "Oh, that's possible." Yeah, anything's possible. It's possible for it to go tomorrow to zero. It's possible, but I don't worry about possible. I worry about probable. And in order to have probability, you have to have data to support the odds to put it into the probable camp. All right? And that's where I operate. All right. So for right now, guys, today's plan, very simple. Even on the lower time frames, we can go down here to the 4-hour time frame. We've got the reject on the upper zone. Can we confirm it? Can we put a lower low here? So we can easily say that this is a high, a low, lower high, lower low. Could this turn into we have a part one of a lower low? Excuse me. We have a part one of a lower high, meaning that in order for this to be an actual confirmed lower high, we need to come down here and open a lower low. That confirms the lower high, because this could be, again, back to basics, could be the inside of a W to get us back above the top of this range. And how do I know that? Because same rules apply. Nothing ever changes. It's like a broken record. We come up here and let's see. Did we have a clean candle body close on the continuation rule? Let's see. No, we don't have a full candle. Yes, we did close it and we opened it, but we went right back in there. So this is still considered a possible W. What's a possible W? We're going to put in one of these here. There it is. We did not invalidate the continuation rule that measures the inside of the W, so that's still possible. That's why I said this is a probable lower high. It's a part one because we need two parts to confirm this. In my view, the way I look at it, we need to establish the lower high. Okay, we did that. Now we need to establish a lower low to confirm it, to solidify it. And we haven't done that yet. So my next objective is you need to stay. Oh, let me close this. Sorry about that. You need to stay above here. I don't care about a wick because I understand that a wick could be a sweep. That's okay. But a full candle body and close below here solidifies the lower high. That this is a lower high, and we put in a confirmed lower low. It doesn't have to be all the way down here. As long as it's below here, that's how I view it. All right? Now, look at this. That's a lot of resistance. We bounced close to it, but I also recognize that we can come down here. And we may not. We may put that W based on here. We may sweep that below here. So I can't think, even though I have this as my macro view, my plan. I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame. Today we can just do this, and then we can roll over. There's a way of looking at the market. There's a macro view and there's an intraday view. I'm an intraday trader, so hourly and 4-hour mean a lot to me, because it helps me position myself for the day. This will help me position myself for the week or the weeks to come. But during that time, I know that the market gives us plenty of opportunity. And that opportunity is what I feed my Telegram channel with. Those small opportunities, the inside, the intraday, the hourly, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, tons of opportunity. That's what I try to maximize. So for right now, I need to wait to see, because when I look at the daily time frame, look, I can pick a very easy bullish scenario. Look, here's one right here. Check this out. Look at this. You see this area right here? Resistance, resistance, resistance. If we can pull up above here and leave a wick like we did here, we've just back tested this bull break, and this is bullish. Now we're going to hold this. Now, if we hold this, another candle up here, now we have a chance to get back up there. Easily. That can easily happen. But I don't know that. I need to wait for validation and invalidation. But just to give you an example of what I look for, I don't see a candle like this and automatically think, oh, okay, here we go to 50,000. That's what you see on Twitter. That's what I call Twitter twat traders. They based everything on one candle. And that one candle, whether it's green or red, if it's green, we're going to 80,000. In the next hour, oh no, we're going to 50,000. Oh no, we're going to 80,000. I don't play that game. I wait for markets to confirm and invalidate and validate moves to me. So that's how I operate. All right, guys, everyone have a really good day. Tomorrow we will see where we left off. I want to see tomorrow if indeed we are starting to come down this path. Now, I want you to look at this path that I carved out, and I want you to see how we played this portion resistance. Even though this happened, look at this. There it is right there. Then we were supposed to have a drop and then a bounce. Look at this drop here. See this drop? Now, what made me draw this? When I do this, I understand that this is going to be an area of prior resistance. So we're going to have prior support, usually causes a bounce. When you look left and you look at areas here where this would be another area of support, which would be another area of resistance. Sometimes we get front run. Sometimes we get front run. You see that? But the next logical area, if, I don't know if it is, but if it's going to come down, we're going to break it. Now in the smaller time frames, I'm going to look for a small, a back test of the bear break before we continue lower. And it's those small moves that I look for, that I try to get in front of. All right? All right, guys, have a good one. I went over my time. I apologize, but I wasn't with you guys for the whole weekend, so I wanted to really explain myself. I think that I'm still leaning to the top of the range. However, for the time being, I'm rooting for the bears. And I need the bears to come down and clean up this to get me up higher. Because the higher we go without cleaning this up here, I know that I'm only prolonging the inevitable. The probability is we're coming here. I want it to happen sooner than later because I'm with you guys. I want up. But I understand that we're not going to get a proper move up without coming down here. Could it happen? Yes, it could. But not based on my system. The probability, we're going down. First, not to 44,000, just to clean this up here. So I want this to happen so we can get back up on the top of the range and then show me that you're bullish again. Show me that you can break above the range and you can hold above the range and you can start climbing above the range for me to then start thinking all-time high. Because you heard my wording, right? I didn't say I'm looking for all-time high. I said I'm looking for the top of the range. For 5 months, the top of the range has signified more downside. So when we hit the top of the range, you know what I have waiting for me there, guys? I got a short. Even though I'm macro bullish for the bull run, I have a short. Because 5 months of data tells me that we're going back down until invalidated. And we're not there yet, so we're still trying to work on our downtrend. So if and when that happens, we'll talk about that in another 15-minute morning brief. All right, guys, everyone have a really good day.